How you doing, guys? It is October 24th, 2017. I want to do a little question and answer video. Some of the stuff that I get asked quite a bit, and just try to answer it in this little video here, and this way here you guys can see it and you get the questions answered. Oddest thing that ever happened to me today was very, very strange. I was going to get a sticker for my big truck, so I come home, put the dog away, checked all the lights, and made sure everything was working right, the blinkers, and the truck was working fine. So I started driving down to my mechanic where I get the sticker that works on my truck if something happens. I got all the way there, almost there, like within half a mile, and I lost my back brakes. The pedal went right to the floor. I was able to get there, because I still had front brakes, but it's just an odd thing. I thought it was so odd. On my way to get a sticker, and my brake line blew out on me. So I was able to leave the truck there, and they're gonna work on it tomorrow, hopefully. And so I'm gonna be down a day or so without a truck. But I need, good thing I didn't get into an accident. I mean, all right. So the question and answers. A lot of people ask me about my hourly rate. A lot of the stuff I do a lot of repairs, and a lot of times I'll just tell the people I do it time material. And my hourly rate's $96 an hour. Weekends is more. Either 125 like early Saturday. I might do 125, or on a Sunday it'll be like 150 an hour. 1 hour minimum. I try not to work on the weekends or nights. Anything nights is going to be more money. I try to just work during the day. Another question I get asked a lot is about the clear or purple primer with the PVC. Now, clear primer and clear glue is made for the white PVC, Schedule 40 PVC. Schedule 80 PVC, which is a lot thicker, has the purple primer and the gray glue. So there's two different. Now, the clear glue and the clear primer and clear glue was designed for the Schedule 40 PVC. Now, in my state, you could use that. But there are states that require you use the purple primer for the simple reason that they can see if you use the primer or not. That's a lot of states will require using purple primer. Now, in my state, if you're going to use PVC piping on like a direct vent gas high efficiency boiler, you have to use purple primer on it now. But the plumbing, we could still use the clear cleaner and the clear glue, which looks a lot better, but the clear cleaner, you gotta clean it good, put it on there, and what it does is it softens up the PVC with the cleaner. It softens it up, so then when you put the glue, everything's already softened up and it makes a better bond. It is important to use the cleaner. There's nothing wrong with the purple cleaner. It's actually really good stuff, but it's designed for the Schedule 80 PVC pipe. It's designed for the thicker, dark gray Schedule 80 pipe. That's hopefully that clears that up. I get a lot of questions about advice on how to get work, starting out in business, and you don't have a lot of work. Well, what I did when I first started out in business, I got a hold of a couple of guys that were already in business, and they were friends of mine, and they kind of gave me their overflow work, and I'd work for a reduced price or whatever, and it helped me out. Maybe you can look into doing that. The best way to get jobs is like word of mouth. A lot of people like on Facebook will refer me because I've been doing it so long. I do advertise in a phone book. That gets a little pricey, but the best advertisement is word of mouth. Try to do a good job, and then the people will, if they, anybody asks, hey, a plumber or a heating guy or HVAC, oh yeah, this guy here, he did work for me. Here's his name and number. He's good. It's going to take time to build a clientele, and it takes time. So just be patient, and try to hook up with other guys that are in the trade, and if they have any overflow work, maybe they can throw your name out. That's what I would recommend you do if you're just starting out. That's a good idea, and something you could try to do. Why don't you use knee pads? I get a lot of people ask me that. I don't have a problem with my knees. No problem at all. My knees, there's no pain there. I crawl around on the concrete. It doesn't bother me. For some reason, I don't have any issues with my knees. I don't really like wearing knee pads, but if I'm going to be crawling around in a really bad area on stone or something like that, I would definitely use knee pads. But for what I do, I never have an issue, so I haven't had any problems with my knees at all. They don't hurt, so I really don't carry. I have knee pads in the truck. I rarely ever use them. I do use them at times. If it's a real nasty area, I will do it, but not too much. Is it too late for me to get into the trade? Well, I don't think it's ever too late. My father always told me the best time to get into the trade is when you're young and you're still living with your parents. The simple reason they say the trade, like, to become a plumber in my state, you have to work for 4 years for a master plumber before you can even go for your license. So if you're out on your own and you got mortgage and you got a family, it's hard to make a reduced rate for 4 years before you can even go for your license. So it makes a lot of sense doing it when you're young, you're still home, living with your parents. You got a 4-year run, you know, you're living down in the basement or whatever, and you don't have a lot of bills, and it's better to do it that way. And also, when you're younger, you know, your mind isn't already established and you're set in your ways. The younger you are, the better off you are to get in the trade, because you're not set in your ways, you're just learning, you're just coming up, you know, and it's easier to teach a younger person up in the ways to, you know, to do the trade than it is an older person that's set in his ways. But not always. It depends on the individual, and it depends on your capabilities. Are you mechanically inclined? Can you work with your hands? It's all, you're gonna have to try it and see if you're good at it or not. That's all I can say. Yeah, another question I get a lot is vacuum breakers on water heaters. Why do you have to put a vacuum breaker on a water heater? They don't have it in my state. Well, in my state, you need a vacuum breaker on a water heater. The reason you need that is if there's ever a fire in the street and the pump trucks hook up to the fire hydrants outside and start pumping the water out, you could theoretically collapse the tank, and that vacuum breaker would stop that from happening. I've never seen it happen, but that's what I was told when I was an apprentice, and that's what they're used for. And I get a lot of people ask me questions about that. And also on the water heaters, they say, how come you're using a 3-inch vent on a water heater? Well, it's still legal to use a 3-inch smoke vent on a water heater. Some states you need to have 4-inch on a smoke pipe, but in my state you can still use 3-inch on a smoke pipe. So that's why I see a lot of my water heaters it's still 3-inch. Why change it if it's legal? All right, guys, just a quick little chat. You know, that's what's going on. Trying to do a little question and answer video, and more videos to come. Well, hopefully I get my truck back tomorrow.